Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
Hello, hi everyone. So I think now since the prelims 2024 is over, we are here to discuss your CSAT paper, and like this, what we'll be doing is we'll be discussing only the aptitude part of the CSAT paper. The comprehension part we're not discussing here. We'll be discussing only all the the rest of the 50 to 55 questions. We'll be discussing it here. So, like as far as the paper is concerned, it was not as tough as 2023 paper, but it's not like that easy also. I would rate the CSAT paper as like something similar to our 2022 or 21 CSAT paper. So I think the complaints that we had last year, I don't think we'll be having those complaints this year. So we'll just start off straight away. So this is like code C, I guess. Yeah, this is code C. First is like this question: consider the following sequence that follows a certain pattern. Which of the following completes the correct sequence? So I think in this question, see, if you see this question, if you see it on the face of it, you won't be able to like make out the pattern. But you see here, there are like a few terms which are repeated. See here, if you see here you have A, B, C, D, but in between A and B you have a blank, and here you have B, B which is repeated, and here A, B, C is there, and between C and D there is something, you have a blank, and then again here you have a blank. So if you just connect all this, first what they have written is A, again they are repeating A, then B, C, D. Now here again A, see in the first sequence they have repeated the first letter. So here what they are doing is they have repeated the second letter. So it's A, B, B, C, D. Now in the next sequence A, B, now first two letters are already repeated. Now you have to repeat the third letter. So C, so here C will come. A, B, C, C, D. Now here A, B, C, all three letters are there and all three were like already repeated. So now you have to repeat the fourth letter, which means you will have D. So the blank is A, C, D. So C is your right answer. 2 persons P and Q enter into a business. P puts in 14,000 more than Q. P has invested for 8 months and Q has invested for 10 months. And if P share is like 400 more than Q share out of the total profit, what is the capital that is contributed by P? So the question is, your you just start from here. Your P share is 400 more than Q share. This means what? Your share of P is 400 more than Q, and the total profit is how much? 2000. So which means what? P plus Q is 2000. So P you have to put Q plus 400. So your Q plus 400 plus Q is 2000. 2Q is 1600. Your Q is 800. If your Q is 800, put this value here. Your Q is 800, P is 1200. Okay. So now, but the question doesn't end here. Now you have to know one simple logic, that the ratio of the profits that are received by them is as same as the capital amount that is invested by both. So this is the logic that you have to apply here. So now what you have to do is your P by Q. What is the profit for P is 1200, and your profit for Q is 800. So this is same as, this ratio will be same as the capital that they have invested. So assume that P has put in. So now in this equation, what you have to do is, we'll just take small p, since like we have taken P for like profit here. So small p is how much? 14,000 more than Q. So you can have Q as Q. So for P, what you can write is Q plus 14,000, but he has invested for 8 months, and Q has invested for 10 months. So I have to cancel. 0, 0 goes 2, 3, 5. So if you like take it to the other side, your 15Q is equal to 8Q plus 116, 80 plus 32, 112. So your 7Q is 112,000. Your Q is 1, 1. Your Q is 16,000. If your Q is 16,000, how much is P? Put this value of Q here. So this is 16,000. So your P is 16 plus 14K, which is nothing but 30K. So your option is A. So for 5, your option is A. Okay, the question is, your P salary is 20% lower than Q salary, which means what? Let salary of P be P. Your salary of Q, it is like 20% lower. So 20% lower salary means P will receive 80% of what Q receives. See, because 20% lower means what? In 100%, if you reduce 20 means it's 80, right? So your P will have 0.8 of Q. This is what this statement means. P salary is 20% lower than Q salary. And Q salary is 20% lower than R salary. So again, the same. By how much percent is R salary more than P salary? So this is what you need to know. So for this, see here you have the comparison between P and Q, and here you have the comparison between Q and R. So now you have to eliminate this Q. So now what you have to do is you have to substitute this value of Q here. So what will happen? Your P will be 0.8 into Q. Your Q is what? 0.8 R. So your P is 0.64 R. Okay. Now the point is, by how much percent is R salary more than P salary? So which means you have to have your value of your salary of P as the reference point and not R as reference point, because it is more than P salary. So with respect to P, you have to calculate how much R salary is more. So your salary of R is, so your salary of R is R, and it is more. So P salary is 0.64 R divided by 0.64, because this is P salary. So this is nothing but 0.36 R by 0.64 R, and obviously into you have to do 100, then you get the percentage. So like this is 0.18, 0.09, 0.15. This is somewhere like 60. So like 0.36 by 0.09. Sorry, this is 16.16. So this is 56.25%. So your 6 is option B. See, like all the 3 questions that you've seen are like very relatively simpler questions, but every question has a small catch. That's the point that you have to note here. Moving on to the next. A number was mistakenly divided by 4 instead of multiplying by 4n. What is the percentage change in result due to this mistake? Okay, a number, let that number be n. Actually, what was the operation? It should have been multiplied by, should have been multiplied by 4. But what you have got, you have divided by 4. Okay, what is the percentage change in result due to this mistake? So, what is the difference? Actually, you should have had 4n, but you have just n. So, the percentage change is 4n minus n by 4. That what was the actual result should have been 4n, right? So, that should be a denominator. So, this is nothing but your 16n minus n by 4 into 4n, which is equal to 15n by 16n. So, if you take percentage for this, you will get 93.75. So, that's your answer. Next question. In an examination, 80% of the students passed English, 70% of the students passed in Hindi, and 15% failed in both the subjects. So, what is the percentage of students who failed only in one subject? Okay, so this can be explained with the help of a Venn diagram. %80 of the students passed in English. Let this be English, and 70% of the students passed in Hindi. So let this be Hindi. See, because there should be some overlap here, because some students would have passed both, right? Some students would have passed both Hindi and English, and if you add these two, you are getting 150, which means, and but the total is 100, which means there is some amount of people who have cleared both. So this, so let this be English and let this be Hindi, okay? And it is said that 15% failed in both subjects, which means this part, which is not falling in within those circles, that part is 15. Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to write a very simple equation, which means you have to include this, and see, everything put together is 100. Okay, now how we are going to write this? Okay, I'll just use this space. See, your English plus Hindi. So your English is this entire circle and your Hindi is this entire circle, but this part you have added twice, so you have to subtract that once. So your English intersection. So your English intersection Hindi must be subtracted, and then your rest half who haven't cleared. So let that be failed candidates. Okay, this is how much? 100. because the total number of students because it's given in percent. So instead of taking it as percent, I'm taking that most of the the total number of students as 100. Okay, so everything put together is 100. Okay, now how much is English? 80. How much is your Hindi? 70. How much is your intersection? You do not know. So let it be English intersection H. How many have failed? 15. How much is this? So from this, you'll get your intersection as 65. This is 150, 165. Okay, what percentage of students failed in only one subject? Okay. Now the question that is asked is, see this part. See, this is people who have passed English. This is people who have passed Hindi, and this is people who have passed both. Which means, how many would have failed only in one subject? It is this portion. This portion alone, excluding this. So it is this portion and this portion. That's because here this is nothing but people who have passed only English, which means what? They have failed in Hindi. And this part is people who have passed only Hindi, which means they have failed in English. So this too, excluding this, excluding the center, this part is the one that is asked. So now for that, what you need to do is, what is the total English? English is 80. So from that, subtract this part. That is what? 65. So this is how much? 15. So these many number of people have passed in English, but they have failed in Hindi. Next, this is English pass. Next, Hindi pass. In Hindi, you how many have passed? 70 have passed. Minus 65 is 5. So which means 5 people have passed only in Hindi and they have failed in English. So if you add these two together, you get 20. So that's your answer. See, again, this question like demands some amount of imagination. So if you have this Venn diagram thing, it's like very easy to answer. Okay. Next. A father said to his son N years back, I was as old as you are now. My present age is like 4 times your age N years back. If the sum of the present ages of the father and the son is 130 years, what is the difference in their ages? Okay. So for this kind of questions, first you have to give the statements that the statements that they have given into an equation. So first, let the age of the father be f. Current age, let the current age of the father be f, and the current age of the son be s. Okay. So now what is it? A father has told his son, n years back, I was as old as you are now. So n years back, what is the age of the father? F minus n is how is as old you are now. What is the age of the son now? Small s. You understand? See, n years before, the statement tells that n years back I was as old as you are now. So the father's age n years before was f minus n, and the son, age of the son, present age of the son is s. So this is the first equation. Okay, and my present age is 4 times your age n years back. Present age of the father is what? F. It is 4 times the age of the son n years back. So n years ago, the age of the son was s minus n. So now you have to solve this. So your f is what? 4s minus 4n. So substitute this here. You substitute this equation here. So this is your second equation. So what you will have? 4s minus 4n minus n is equal to s. So 4s minus s is equal to 5n. So 3s is equal to phi n. So s is equal to, oh sorry, n is equal to 3s by phi. So you just have this n. The n years what you're telling is 3 times the sun age of the sun by 5. And also what it has told, the present age of the father and the son, f plus s is 130. So now what you have to do is, see, again you have three variables. You have n, s and f. So first what you have to do is you have to replace this, put this n here and write f in terms of s. So if you do that, your s is what? Your n is 3s by 5. So substitute this n here. So you will get your f is equal to s plus 3s by 5, which is equal to 8s by 5. Sorry, f is 8s by 5. Now put this in this equation. So your s plus 8s by 5 is 130. So which means what? Take LCM. So your 13s is equal to 130 into 5. So here you have 10. So s is now 50. If s is 50, put 50 here. If s is 50, f is 10, 80. So the age of the father is 80 years and the age of the son is 50 years. So what is the difference? Difference in their age is 30 years. Is it clear? Next question. This is like pretty straightforward. Like all are right. There's like nothing, like if you know the like standard metric system, I think this question is like relatively simpler. Okay, this is something like very interesting question. What is the possible number of least? This is the key. Least possible number of cuts that is required to cut a cube into 64 identical pieces. Okay. See, if you want to have 64 pieces means, what is a 64? You have to write it in terms of perfect cube. So 64 is how much? You can write it as 4 cube. Okay, see, why 4 means, why you have to take it in terms of cube is, you cannot cut a cube irregularly. All should be equal. So if you are like dividing the entire cube into, which means you are dividing the entire volume into 64 equal halves. So the side of the new thing will be the volume. This is the total volume. So the total side will be, you have to like represent it in terms of a proper cube. Then we can cut it into equal cuts. Okay. So now you have to cut it. So 4. So the side is how much? You have to have 4 divisions in one side. So if you have the face like this, so you have to make 4 cuts here. So you have to have 4 sides after cutting, which means you have to make 3 cuts. You make 1, 2, 3. See, now this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. So like assume that you're cutting it like this. Okay. Now turn the cube and cut it this way. Again 1, 2, 3. I'm like cutting it like this. So now what will happen is, see you have 4, like you'll have 4 this side, you'll have 4 this side, so now you'll have 16. Now what you have to do is you have to cut it this way. See, because now see you have cut straight, you cut this way, now you have to cut this way. 1, 2, 3. And like that will extend like here also. So now if you see, you will have 64 cubes. So the minimum cut is, for the front side you have to cut it three times. This side you have to cut 3 times, and this side you have to cut 3 times. So your 9 is the answer. That is the least number to cut. Okay, this is a question like where you have to like go for your trial and error. See, and here this word is the catch. The expression a 5 star, 4 star, 3 star, 2 star, 1 is chosen from plus, addition, subtraction, and like multiplication each at most 2 times. At most 2 times means maximum. You can either use it once, use it 2 times, or do not use it. That is the meaning of at most 2 times. What is the smallest non-negative? So what's the difference between non-negative and a positive? See, non-negative is something starting from 0. Positive means something that starts after 0, which means your 0 is not included. Okay, so non-negative means what? Your 0 is included. Okay, so now you just try to see all. Now what you have to do is you have to try trial and error only here. So just let's try this, like 5 minus 4 plus 3 minus 2, or like star 1 multiplication. I've used my like this thing twice. Okay, so now what will happen? You'll have 5 minus 7 minus 2. Sorry, not 7, minus 1. So this is like 2. So if you're having 2 means definitely your 3 is not the answer. So you have eliminated that. Okay. Now 5 plus 4 minus 3 plus star 2 plus 1. This is like 9 minus 6 plus 1. So this is for no. So this you have to cut out. Next is like 5 minus 4 plus 3 minus 2. So this is like 5 minus 1 minus. Okay, I think this we tried already. Let's try this. 5 minus 4 minus 3 plus 2 star 1. So this is nothing but what? 5 minus 7 plus 2. 5 plus 2 is 7, so your everything will get cancelled. So this answer is right. So you have to do trial and error. A certain number of men can finish a work in 6k days. What is where k is a natural number? By what percent should the number be? Should the number of men be increased so that the work can be complete. See, for this you have to go by the unit method. See, let W be the work. Let W be the work done. So that is the work done per men per unit time is same. That is the general rule. Okay. So for this, so for the first time you have say n number of men. They do it for 6 days. This unit work is same as your capital N is what is changed. It should be completed in 5k days. So your WW will get cancelled, your K gets cancelled. So now what will happen is your small n by capital N is 5 by 6, which means what? Your new capital N is how much? 6 times small n by 5. So now you have to see what percent of this is your, what is this, how much is increased. So see, this is your new n, right? What was your old n? Your old n is small n. So 6n by 5 minus small n by small n into 100 is the percentage of number of men should be increased. Increase is what? This one. So this is nothing but what? N by 5 into 100 by, sorry, n. So your n goes 20, it's 20%. XYZ can complete a piece of work individually in 6 hours, 8 hours, and 8 hours respectively. However, only one person at a time, can work in each hour, and nobody can work for 2 consecutive hours. All are engaged to finish the work. What is the minimum amount of time that they will need to finish the work? Okay, the question is, it tells that you have 3 people who can like finish it in 6 hours, 8 hours, and 8 hours. And the condition that they are giving is in 1 hour only one can work, and they cannot work consecutively. Okay, so that's the condition. And what is the minimum? See, again, this is the catch. What is the minimum amount of time that they will need to finish the work? Okay. So your work done by X in unit time is W by 6. Your work done by Y is W by 8. Your work done by Z is W by 8. Okay. If you see the option, everything is like more than 6 hours. So assume that your X works, then your Y works, then your Z works. Then again, your X works, your Y works, and then your Z works. So 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hours, 6 hours. Okay. So if you add everything, you'll get 5W by 6. So which means if everybody works for 1 hour, you will get your 5 by 6 of the work is done. So what is the work that is remaining? Your W by 6 is remaining. Okay. Now the catch is, who's going to work next? Whether X is going to work or Y is going to work or Z is going to work. See, because whatever you assume is, you assume your Z to work here. So your Z cannot work again. So it has to be either X or Y. Okay. So now among these, who is fastest? Among these, who is the fastest? Now you have your W by 6 work that is left. So now what you have to do is, this W by 6 should be done by your Y for some amount of time X, because then only, see, this 6 is now sealed. 6 is sealed now. So after that, the Baki, the W6 of the work what you have should be multiplied by some time. So for that, you have to cancel these two. Your X will become 6 by 8, which is nothing but 3 by 4. See, this is for hour. What is 3/4 of an hour? Your 3/4 of an hour is 45 minutes. So you'll have 45 minutes. So it's what, 6 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, this is a very, very good question actually. How many consecutive zeros are there at the end of the integer that is obtained? Okay, see, this question is like slightly tough, but if you use your like a bit of maths knowledge and your aptitude knowledge, you'll be able to like crack this question. See, when will you get a zero? Either you have to have 10 power something, or you have to have 5 into 2. So these are the, I mean, I'm talking about the least. Either you should have 10 or you should have 5 into 2 or something. So then only. So now what you have to do is, see this sequence 1 square, 2 power 4, 3 power, like 6, everything. So this you can just write it as 2 power 2n. If you write the n as 1, sorry, n power 2n. If you put the n as 1, you'll get 1 square. If you put n as 2, you'll get 2 power 4. If you put n as 3, you'll get 3 power 6. Okay, so now for first what you need to do is you need to find what are the possible places where I can get powers of 5. Okay, so now first go to 4 power 8. So for 5 what you will have? 5 power 10. So now your 10, so next 5 multiple comes in the 10th place. So you will have 10 power 20. So instead of 10 power 20, you can write that as 2 power 20 into 5 power 20, right? Your 10 power 20 can be written as 2 power 20 into 5 power 20. So I'm taking 5 power 20 from there. Okay. Next, we'll have 15. We'll have 15 power 30. So your 15 power 30, I'll write as 3 power 30 into 15 power 30. So again, I'm taking 5 power 30. Next, 20. 20 you can write it as 4 power 20 into 20 power 4 power 20 into 5 power 20. So I'm sorry, like 20 is 4 power 40 into 20 power 40. So I'm taking 40 from here. Your 25th term is nothing but 5 square into 25. So your 5 square into 25 is how much? 25 can be written as 5 square into 50. So it is nothing but 5 power 100. So you have 5 power 100 here. So for the 5 term, you have 5 power 10, 5 power 20, 5 power 30, 5 power 40, 5 power 100. Okay. So in the previous, you have a lot of even numbers. You have 2 power 4, 4 power 8. So all these even numbers you can convert it in terms of 2. And since this being so many, you have such a long sequence, definitely you will have minimum 2 power 100 will be there. So if you have, see, have 5 power 100. So if you add everything, how much you will have? 100 plus 140, 170, 190, 200. So you'll have 5 power 200 in this sequence. And definitely you'll have 2 power 200 also. Because you have a lot of even numbers. Okay, so you'll have 5 power 200 and you'll have 2 power 200 also. If you multiply both, what will happen? You'll get 10 power 200, which is nothing but 10 followed by 200 zeros. So this is the right answer. See, this question is like something that will not be able to be like understood, but this is very simple in terms of, because if you give a thought, it's simple, but otherwise in those 2 hours it's like quite difficult to crack, but it's fine. If you have left this question, it's like totally fine. See, this is like simple addition. perfect square as well as a perfect cube. What's a perfect square and a perfect cube? Is 64. So it said that the first day one, the person saves 1 rupee, and January 2nd he saves 2 more than the previous day. So 2 plus 1. Third day he saved 2 more than the previous day. So 2 plus 3. Fourth day 2 more than the previous day. So 2 plus 5. So fifth day 2 more than the previous day. 2 plus 7. Sixth day 2 more than the previous day. 2 plus 9. So seventh day 2 more than the previous day. 2 plus 11. Your eighth day 2 more than the previous day. 2 plus 13. So maximum 9 you have. So because you have options till 9 January, right? So 2 plus 15. So after how many days you have a perfect square and a perfect cube? So you have to just add and see when you are getting 64. This is what 1 plus 3 is 1 plus 3, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 49 plus 15 is 64. So 8. So 8th day. So you're starting with 1st January. So 8th day is 8th January. So on 8th January, you'll get a perfect square and a perfect cube. So which means this is neglected. Okay, this is a good question. Let x be a two-digit number and y be another two-digit number that is formed by interchanging the digit. Okay, let your x be a b. A is that digit, is representing the digit, not the multiplication. And your y is nothing but interchanging. So your y is ba because you have just interchanged the digits. Okay. Now, if x plus y is the greatest two-digit number, what is the greatest two-digit number? Greatest two-digit number is 99. What is the number of possible values of x? Now they're not asking what is the value of x, they're asking number of possible values. So, okay. So now here comes a trick. See, 23, how will you write 23? 2 into 10 plus 3 into 1, which means this 3 is in 1's place. So 3 into 1. This 2 is in 10's place, so 2 into 10. How will you write 35? 5 into 1 because 5 is in 1's place and 3 is in 10's place, so 3 into 10. So this is 35, right? Okay, so now how I'm writing this x is this x AB. I'm writing it as 10a plus 1b because a is in 10's place and b is in 1's place. And now y will be, which is ba, which is nothing but 10b plus a because b is in 10's place, a is in 1's place. So now what is, if x plus y, the sum of the numbers is the greatest two-digit number. So add both, which means what you will have 11a plus 11b is 99, which means what, a plus b is 9. Okay, right. So for how many, see this is a number, so your a and b cannot be integers, a and b have to be numbers. See here, so a and b have to be numbers. Okay, so now what you need to do is, and it's given it's a two-digit number, so which means either a or b cannot be 0 because see, assume your a b is 70. If you reverse it, you will get 7, which is not a two-digit number. But what is the question? It's given both are two-digit numbers, so either of a and b should not be 0. So now see what are the possibilities for which your a plus b is 9. Okay, shall we write it? It can be 1 comma 8, can be 2 comma 7, 3 comma 6, 4 comma 5, 5 comma 4, 6 comma 3, 7 comma 2, and 8 comma 1. So x can be, your AB can be 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hope like you got this. Go to the next question. This is again a good question. Weight of 6 boys is equal to weight of 7 girls is equal to weight of 3 men is equal to weight of 4 women. If the average weight of the women is 63, and what is the average weight of the boys? So you can like neglect these two, the question, because the comparison is between these two. So now just consider your weight of 1 by V. Let the weight of the boys be W1. So dot 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 plus W6. This is same as weight of the boys, right? So we'll keep it B. And the B1 plus B2 plus B6 is equal to weight of the 4 women, W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4. And what it is given? The average weight of these women. What is average? W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4 by 4. This is average. This is 63. Which means what is W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4? 252. Okay. So now what is actually this 252? 252 is this. This is nothing but weight of the 6 boys. So we have found this. This is nothing but what? 256. Sorry, 252. What is the average weight of the boys? Okay. So the sum of the weights of the boys is 252. That is what we have found. Okay. What will be the average? Average for the boys will be 252 divided by number of boys. You have 6 boys. Go to the next. Okay, this is like simple. You have to just, this is just a mix of common sense and your brain. 9, 3, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Between 10 a.m. and 2 a.m., how many times your hour hand and the minute hand intersects? See, at your 10 o'clock, your small hand is like this and your minute hand is like this. When it becomes 10, when this comes one round, somewhere around here, it will meet for the first time. Like say 10:56, 10:57 kind of time, it will meet once. Next it will become, sorry, here, not here, somewhere here. Somewhere here, it will meet for the first time. So next, what it will do is, next year, our hand will be here and your minute hand will come here. So for 11 o'clock. After 11 o'clock, it will meet straight away at 12 only. So at here, it will meet for the second time. Okay. And then after one, so it will be like this. So your hour hand will be 12 and your minute hand. Now your minute hand will come one full round. By the time your hour hand will be 1 here. So at 1 o'clock it will be like this. Your hour hand will be here, your minute hand will be here, and your minute hand still wouldn't have crossed your hour hand for the third time. So now when it becomes like slightly later, around like 1718, again this minute hand will cross. It will cross, your hour hand will be here, and your minute hand will like cross, and then it will come back again. By the time it will be 2 o'clock. So 3 times. And it's set between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. But for next time, what will happen is your hour hand will, when your hour hand is at 2, your minute hand will be at 12. Again, after like some 2:12 or 2:13, your hour hand will be like this, and your minute hand will cross. So minute hand will cross hour hand after 2 o'clock only, and between 10 and 2, it will cross only 3 times. See, like this is relatively a simple question. But how? You need to know two things. One is every year, see, similar calendar year means assume that you have January 1 on Sunday. Okay, Assume that you have January 1 on Sunday, and after some years, similar calendar year means your January 1 should fall on the same Monday. That is having similar calendar year. So your calendar year for 2025 is same as for, okay. So generally, every 7 years once or 6 years once, if you have just one leap year in between, if you have just one leap year in between, you'll have the similar calendar year. Okay. See how I approached this question was, see this 2025 is 1 year next to a leap year. Okay. So like as far as, so like I remember, I know one day in 2017. See 2017 June 3 was a Sunday. Sorry, a Saturday. In 2018, the same June 3 was a Sunday. In 2019, the same June 3 was a Monday. In 2020, it was not on Tuesday, it was on a Wednesday. In 2021, it was on Thursday. In 2022, it was on Friday. In 2023, it was on Saturday. See, I know this day because 2018 June 3 was prelims. So June 3 on 2017 should have been Saturday, because see why I'm taking 2017 as references, because 2017 is 1 year after a leap year, because the question that is asked is also 1 year after a leap year, which is after 2020, which 2024 is a leap year, so 2025 is 1 year after leap year, so you have to compare it between leap years. So I strongly know that 2018 June 3 was a Sunday and you had prelims that year, so which means 2017 should have been Saturday. So tracing that 2017 was Saturday, and next time arriving it at 2023, which means if I add 6 to that, I'm getting the answer. So your answer will be 2031. Again, this is an interesting question. PQ RSB distinct positive integers, let PQ be odd and R and S be even. Consider the following statement. Okay. See, when will you call something even? If you have a factor of 2. See, already what is told, R and S are even. So in this, forget about this P minus R square, that is to confuse you. If you have S in that, it's definitely even, because your S is, it's given, it's even. So this is even, this statement is right. Okay. Now second, Q minus S into Q square into S. See, again you have S. So again this is even. Now you have P plus S. Q plus R into P plus S. Okay. See, what is this? P plus R is odd plus even. Odd plus even is definitely odd. So this is odd. Okay. Now what is P plus S? Odd plus even. Again, that is also odd. Odd square is odd. Odd into odd is odd. We'll go to the next one. Okay, this is like relatively simple. Again, you need to use common sense. 4, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Okay, at 4 o'clock, your, assume this is your hour hand and this is your minute hand. This is 12. So now at 425, what will happen is this would have moved slightly here, and this would have moved here. So now what they are asking? Angle between this. So this is the angle that they are asking. Right? Okay. So first for that you need to know what is the total angle. So keep this as your reference. What is the total angle that is covered by your hour hand? See, for your hour hand, your one entire cycle is 360-degree. For your minute hand, sorry. If your minute hand comes one entire round, it's 360-degree. So each time, so 360 by 12 is how much? 30. So for every 5 minutes, it's covering 30 degrees. So your hour hand or your minute hand from 12 to 25 has covered 150 degrees. Okay, but your hour hand for first hour it will cover 30 degree because your hour hand moves every 5, like 5, 10, 15 for only once in 1 hour. So for after 1 hour it will move 30 degree. Second hour it will move 60. Third hour 90. Fourth hour 120. Okay. So now your hour hand has moved 120 degree until 4 o'clock. But for rest 25 minutes, how much it should have moved? See, for 1 hour, which means for 60 minutes, it moves 30 degrees. So for 25 minutes, how much it should have moved? 25 into 30 by 60. So which means 12.5 degrees it should have moved for 25 minutes. So for 4, because we are having this as reference. So 120 plus 12.5, which is nothing but 132.5. So this is, see, your minute hand, this entire thing has 150 and your this is 132.5. So if you subtract this from this, is you'll get this answer. So what, that is nothing but what, 150 minus 132.5 is nothing but 17.5 degrees. Okay, see, again this question, it might look a bit complicated, but this is something very simple. One good reason is that it's because of the options. See, you have 222 power 333 plus 333 power 222. The question will look so massive. Is divisible by which of the following numbers? It's divisible by 2 and 3 but not 37, 3 and 37 but not 2, 2 and 37 but not 3, 2, 3 and 37. See, okay. See this. See, your 222 is an even number. Your even number for anything is definitely even number. And your 333 is odd. So your 333 power anything is odd. So what is this? Even plus odd. Your even plus odd is definitely odd. Can your odd number be divisible by 2? No. So this option is wrong. This option is wrong. This is also wrong because all these have 2 assets. It tells that 2 can divide that number. Your odd number cannot be divided by 2. So all the 3 statements are wrong. So only this is right. Go to the next. Okay, this is again like relatively simpler. So you need to have like 20% gain. So what percent? Assume that you are getting your water for free of cost, because that is what you have to assume. So if you are like adding water for free of cost and you want to get 20%, means what? You have to add 20% water. That's it. Nothing more. So 36 is A. Okay, what is the rightmost digit preceding the value of 3 power 30? Okay, this 3 power 30 can be written as 30 power 30 can be written as 3 power 30 into 10 power 30. Okay, see, anyway, this 10 power 30 into 0, you'll have a lot of zeros only. So what is the ending digit for this 3 power 30? See, this 10 power 30 will have only zeros. So if you want to know what is the rightmost digit preceding, preceding means before. So you're going to have 30 zeros in the end. So the first number before that zero is preceding. So now you need to know what this 3 power 30 is going to end with what digit. That's what you're going to know. Okay. So now your 3 power 1 ends with 3. Your 3 power 2 ends with 9. Your 3 power 3 is 27. Your 3 power 4 is 81. Your 3 power 5 243. So if you see, you will see a pattern. 3 power 1 3 9 7 1 again 3 again 9 7 1. So it will just keep on repeating. So if you see, every multiple of 4, 3 power multiple of 4 will end with 1. So your 3 power 4 will end with 1, your 3 power 8 will end with 1, your 3 power 12 will end with 1, your 3 power 16 will end with 1. Similarly, your 3 power 28 also will end with 1. Okay. Now, after ending with 1, the 2, because until 3 power 28 it will end with 1. So your 3 power 29 will end with 9, your 3 power 30 will end with 7. Sorry, 9. Yeah. See, your 3 power 4 will end with, so your 3 power 28 will end with, your 3 power 28 will end with 9. Sorry, 1. The 3 power 29 will end with 3, and your 3 power 30 will end with 9. Because it's the pattern that keeps repeating. Okay. Okay, this is another interesting question. Number like 421, 427, and divide by the same number, leave the same remainder. How many such divisor can be divisors in order to get the same remainder one? So the thing is, like, when you have to divide and you have to leave remainder one. Okay. If you divide by 1, you're not going to get any remainder, so leave off 1. If you divide by 2, you'll get, if you divide by 2, you'll get remainder 1 year, remainder 1 year. Divide by 3, so if you divide by 2, if you divide by 3, you'll get remainder 1 1. If you divide by 4, you'll not get remainder, because this will divide perfectly, but this, I'm sorry, this your here will get remainder 1, but here will get remainder 3. If you divide by 5, here will get remainder 1, and here will get remainder 2. If you divide by 6, here will get remainder 1, here also will get remainder 1. If you divide by 7, here will get remainder 1, but this will perfectly divide. Okay, now there is no use in checking numbers other than 7, because the difference between the numbers itself is 6. So any number, if you take more than 6, is going to give different remainders for both numbers. You're not going to get the same remainder. So you have to stop within 6. So they are only 3. See again, a can X contains 399 liters of petrol and 532 liters of diesel. They have to be bottled of equal sizes. Okay, so I think first, okay, you have, assume that you have this much level of petrol and this much level of diesel. Yeah, diesel is more. So now what you have to do is you have to bottle them in bottles of equal sizes, so that the whole of petrol and diesel would be separately bottled, and the bottle capacity in terms of liters it is an integer. This is important. And how many different bottle sizes are possible? They are not asking sizes of the bottle. They're asking how many sizes are possible. Okay. So now for what you need to see, you have 399 and you have 532. So you are going to separate this into some equal number of, in bottles of equal size. So which means you're going to divide this number. This 319 is going to be divided and this 532 is going to be divided, and it should divide perfectly. So now what you're going to do is you're going to find the HCF of both these numbers. Okay. So your 399 can be written as 133. Okay, your 399 can be written as 3 into 133. Your 532 can be written as 2, 266, 2, 133. It can be written as 4 into 133. So HCF is 133. Okay. Now, if you have bottle sizes of 133, it will be perfect for both. Okay, but the question doesn't end here, because if you have 133, it will fit both petrol and diesel. Okay. Otherwise, if you have one, two, three, four. I mean, if you have 1 liter bottle also, it will fit, because one is a factor of both. So now what you have to factorize this further. You have to see how your 133 is divided. Your 133 will go in 7 tables. 1, 19. So your bottle can be either 1 liter, it will fit in both. It can be 7 liters. Your bottle size can be 7 liters, it will fit in both. It can be 19 liters, it will fit in both, and it can be 133 liters, it will fit in both diesel and petrol. So this is how you'll have different sizes of bottle. Your answer is 4. Consider the following statements. In respect of sum s is equal to x plus y plus z, where x, y, z are distinct prime numbers, each less than 10. Okay. So what are the prime numbers you have? Let's use this space. 2, 3, 5, 7. It's given all are less than 10. Okay. Now you have to take s. What is it? S? X plus y plus z. Okay. Can the unit digit of the number be 0? S is nothing but what? You have to take any three prime numbers. Okay. Can unit? Okay. Let's take 2, 3, and 5. If you add everything, you're getting 10. Unit digits can be 0, right? Yes, it is telling can. So it can be. The unit digit of s can be 9. Okay, just take these three, it's 10, not possible. Take 2, 3, and 7, it's 12, 2, not possible. Take 3, 5, and 7, 12 plus 3 is 15, 5, not possible. So if you see, your unit digit can never be 9. So this statement is wrong. Unit digit of s can be 5. Take this 7 plus 5 plus 3, 3, 5, 7. If you add all this, what will happen? You'll get 15. 15 can be, your unit digit of 15 is, yes, it can be. So option C is right.